This is going to be a 4-part video-ish series of me going over what Skyrim mods I have installed, why I have them, what they do, and in the description somewhere I'm going to have a list of all the mods so you can look them up, figure out if you want them, at least consider them, all that kind of stuff. They're all pretty good, they all work fine, I have no consistency issues, no FPS lag, all that kind of crap, but some of the stuff you might want to dodge if you have a lower end computer or something. So first off, the Stones of Brenzia quest markers. This is the best mod in the game ever. You know the little small jewel things you get that you have to collect? It tells you exactly where they all are, but you still have to do some of the quests to get to them because they're in like exclusive locations, but it's just really convenient. All of these mods I'm going to go over in the quality of life section are all just make things easier for yourself. Acquisitive soul gems is normally in vanilla Skyrim and Oblivion and all that, if you kill like a shitty little imp or a scamp or a rat or a skeever or whatever, and it dies and you have this grand soul gem and it's the only soul gem you've got, you're going to steal its petty soul and put it in that awesome soul gem, and now it's wasted, and if you ever enchant anything, you've wasted a grand soul. This means that only souls that fit will go into gems, so only grand souls will go into grand soul gems, that kind of thing. So it just saves you hundreds of soul gems. Crime decay is if you're a criminal, obviously. Basically it means about 10% of your bounty degrades over time for every couple of days that you're outside of the hold that you committed crimes in. So if you stab a dude in Whiterun and then run to Winterhold, chill out in the college for a week, your bounty will go down quite a lot. It just makes sense, but the decay might be a bit slow, you can adjust it inside the game. Dragon Priest quest markers are the exact same as the Stone of Brenzia. Once you find the first mask, it'll tell you where all the other masks are. It's just really convenient for the completionists out there. It means you don't have to look them up online, Alt-Tab out, check them, see the map, Alt-Tab back in, figure out you've gotten to the wrong cave, Alt-Tab back out, find a better guide, that kind of crap. You don't have to put up with it anymore. Dragon Soul Relinquishment means that you can spend your Dragon Souls that you have spare. If you don't like shouts or you don't even want to play a Dragon Ball character, if you're a role player of sorts, you can now spend the Dragon Souls on perk points, mana, health, carry weight, movement speed, that kind of stuff. You can adjust the costs as well if you want to be really punishing to yourself or really generous or whatever. Multiple adoptions just means you can adopt multiple kids. Like, if you've already adopted a couple of kids and you're walking around and you see that really sad kid in, I think it's Windhelm, and she's selling flowers and she's like, my parents died, do you want any flowers? It's like, man, I wish I could adopt you. And now you can adopt all the kids. Well, 6 of them. Helmet toggle means you can assign a button on your keyboard to turn your helmet on and off. It doesn't do much, but what it does do is great. If you guys have ever played World of Warcraft, that option to hide the helmet's really good if you want to, again, it's mainly for role-playing based stuff. Or if you just want to look at the back of your character's head or whatever, instead of the weird helmet you might have dropped that has a good enchantment and you can't afford to not wear it, but it looks gross. Infinite weapon charge, again, if you've ever played like World of Warcraft, you know when you hit things in normal Skyrim, the weapon goes down in quality because you run out of soul charges, and like if you have fire damage, you hit them and the fire damage like goes away eventually. This means none of that ever happens. You don't have to waste all your soul gems putting them back into weapons. If it's got an enchantment, it's got it. So I prefer it, but it might be a bit powerful. It might have some imbalance issues, I don't know. Map markers adds map markers to everywhere. Every inn, every guild, every like player home, you can fast travel straight to stuff if you like fast traveling. It just saves a lot of time, and if you have another mod that I have, Achieve that you need to explore locations, it gives you loads of exploration as well. Race menu just completely overhauls the way that the creating a character screen looks. You have all these slidey bars, so many slidey bars, I fucking love slidey bars. And you can adjust so many things. I'll show it you at some point when I'm making a character or whatever. But you have to get this mod, it's so good. It relies on quite a lot of stuff though. Weapons and armor fixes, this just adjusts weights, armor ratings, that kind of stuff for like all sorts of armors in the game. It's the same as this clothing and clutter. It just fixes dumb stuff that shouldn't be how it is. Like if you compare the weight of a potion to a beer, it's like they're both just things in bottles. Why does one weigh 3 times as much? It just fixes that. Unread books. All the books that you haven't already read glow a little bit, so you know which ones are worth reading. You can disable it for plain books so that it only shows you skill books, and then, or like quest books, and then it's easier to find stuff that's important to you, so you don't waste all your time reading all the books. Or if you want to, you can waste your time reading all the books, because you know which books you haven't already read, the plain ones, for example. Sky UI is just the thing that everybody has to have in order to have mods, pretty much. It lets you adjust so much stuff. Safety load is the thing that, you know, when you go from like one area to the next, or you like exit a building or enter a building and that loading screen comes up because you're transferring cells. This tries to stop that crashing your computer or like crashing your Skyrim, that kind of crap. It just seems to add reliability so you're not going back to the desktop and relaunching Skyrim and losing save progress all the time. Realistic ragdolls and force is, you know, when you kill a character, sometimes they fly across the screen, sometimes they just kind of flop forwards or something. It basically adjusts how people die, how much characters weigh, you can pick them up differently, that kind of stuff. It's required for a lot of other mods as well. This is the achieve that I was talking about. It gives you like little progression things to work towards. Again, if you've ever played World of Warcraft, you have that achievement screen with like fucking thousands to collect. This gives you like loads of stuff that you can work towards. If you've completed the game already, it gives you like catch 500 butterflies, which is a pain in the ass, but there's an option for achieve that as well, that normally you get achievements and it gives you glory points. You spend those on perk points, health, mana, fatigue, all that kind of crap. But you can have an option that each achievement you get gives you a bonus. A Matter of Time gives you an option to have an in-game clock, date, or a real-life clock, which is all I use it for, in like one of the corners. It gives you really pretty patterns that you can adjust. Some people like to clog up their screen with all sorts of clocks and all sorts of cocks and schlongs of Skyrim and that, but we're not going to get into that. But yeah, you have this so that you have a clock, and you can put it in like the bottom right, and you can just have it there. It has the real time on it, so you know when it's like bedtime and you're like, oh fuck, I've been playing Skyrim for 6 hours, I should probably stop. The Smart Looter, it auto-loots everything around you. It'll pick up potions, it'll pick up butterflies, you get that achievement really quickly. It'll do mining for you. It'll go through chests and pick out the valuable stuff. You can set it to what values you want it to pick up. It can scale with your levels. It just means you don't spend all your time accidentally clicking into empty urns in Draugr tombs and being really disappointed when there's nothing useful in there. Spinning death animation is the same as the other one that adjusts like weights and stops you being fucked around with your character model and blowing up. It's another one that's relied on by a lot of other things. Extended UI is just a thing that adjusts the interfaces so that they have more information on them. So you know the perk screen that has all the like the pretty things at the top with the birth signs and all that, and you level them up. It tells you what all your skills are at the bottom. It uses that empty space really well to show you what all of your skills are and how close you are to leveling them up. It just basically makes the whole interface more efficient. Less intrusive HUD. This makes all the health bars thinner. It can turn your crosshair into just a dot. It can make your... the compass, that's what it's called. The thing at the top of the screen with all your quest markers, you can make that just a line, so it minimalizes the amount of crap that's all over your screen, and it can make your Skyrim look really pretty. Unlimited bookshelves, it's just something that lets you put different things on bookshelves that aren't always books. So you can start stacking like iron ore or iron bars or iron longswords. You can put them all on bookshelves if you want like this iron house with iron bookshelves all over everything. The Parthenax dilemma, spoiler alert if you haven't played the main story, but if you don't want to, seriously, if you don't want to kill Parthenax, you can now actually like shout at the blades and say, fuck off, I'm not killing that dragon dude. And if you are a completionist and you want to empty your quest log completely, that quest will always sit there and it'll be like, oh yeah, kill Parthenax. It's like, I don't want to kill Parthenax. And if you get this mod, it actually has that as a quest ending where you leave him alive and it gets it out of your log, it completes it, so you can feel good about yourself. Multiple marriages, this is like... I don't know, I got it because I didn't like the idea of adopting 6 kids and then leaving them all home alone in various holds among Skyrim. So now that you can get multiple wives or husbands, if that's what you're into, and you can put them all with the kids that you've adopted, hopefully they don't mind some sort of poly relationship going on. And left-handed rings is what basically lets you have 2 rings equipped, so that you can have double the enchantments on yourself, or if you have that enchanting perk that lets you enchant stuff, you can have quadruple the enchantments. And they actually show up on your character model as well, so you can run around punching people with your special rings. So that's all of the quality of life mods that I've got and the basic explanation of what they do.